Welcome to the Rebel Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Hayley Barnes, and in this episode, I'm going to cover 3 ways that you can shift gears on your messaging to call in higher level clients and make more money. So, this is a phrase in the marketing world: the money is in the messaging, and it gives weight to exactly how strong words are when selling your products, when selling your offers, or even when you're selling yourself as a brand, right? But what does it actually mean? Now, if you guys didn't know, I've been in the online space around 4 years, and for the first two and a half years, I was solely a copywriter and consultant for really big and successful online communities and coaches. And a key factor in how we scale their businesses was by focusing on their messaging, being incredibly laser focused on a specific person and getting them to know, like, and trust the brands and the coaches and the communities through their words. And this person may not have had a clue who they were before, right? They may have come in through an ad, completely cold to them, didn't even know this person existed. And we had to craft them words to get on their side, right, in less than 10 seconds, which isn't an easy task at all. So making sure, like, any viewers of your landing pages, prospects on your website, making sure anybody converts all comes down to your messaging and the stories you're telling about why someone should be interested in you, why you're relevant to that person, how you're going to impact their lives, right? That's why the money is in the messaging. And that makes total sense. When I say it like that, it makes total sense. I'm sure we're all nodding along. But we get so caught up in social media algorithms and even trending audio reel choices and everyday life that sometimes, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, we actually forget to focus on our messaging. So if the dots haven't been connected in this area, here are some problems that a lot of people face, right? And so some people may have a great offer, but they seem to face really stale sales periods and go weeks or even months without making a sale. And that often is because they've got this disconnect with messaging. Or maybe they're the type of people that have big cash injections, so maybe like 10, 20K months, but struggle to call in the right people due to their messaging. So after them big cash injections, they're being exhausted by client delivery because they're actually serving someone that isn't truly aligned with them. Or you could be none of them people and just have complete mental blocks in creating content. So you avoid it. You avoid it at all costs, which means it's super hard to sell anything, right? And maybe you feel disheartened and even want to throw in the towel of being an entrepreneur, which isn't cool. And we do not want that. This is not what the Rebel Movement's here for. It's not on the cards for any of our listeners. So that's why I wanted to create this episode today. I wanted to give you 3 key takeaways that you can instantly apply and start changing that narrative. If that is you, or even if you just think of your messaging and you think, I don't feel 100% confident. I don't feel like I could whip up a caption in like 30 minutes and be really in love with it, right? So let's see how you can start changing it today. And without going to hire a copywriter, even though they're incredible investments, or without buying a messaging course, these are 3 tips that you can implement today. Okay. So step 1, get really clear on your why. Get really clear on your mission. Because once something lights you up that much, your messaging becomes mesmeric. And I always use that term in my clients, in my messaging itself, mesmeric. It means you're completely mesmerized by that person, completely mesmerized by their stories, their life. They're inspiring to you. They're your role models, right? People want to support you and buy from you no matter what, once you create that level of know, like, and trust with them. They want to be part of your world. It resonates with them. Maybe it's that you, for example, have a mission that you want to help women all over the world learn how to invest and become financially empowered and self-sufficient so they don't need to rely on anyone or spend 30 plus years in a job that they hate. Maybe that's your mission. And then maybe, like, even if that's not your mission, hearing that mission gives you a little bit of inspiration. It's like, yeah, like, I would be behind that person. That's incredible, right? So knowing the greater purpose of why you're doing what you're doing lights a fire behind your words and keeps you really freaking accountable. So take a minute to get super clear on that. That's my first tip to getting a really elevated messaging. Number 2, become laser focused on your dream client. Now, we've all heard this, right? Figure out your ideal client avatar, figure out what they eat, what their interests are, what Netflix shows they watch. And I'm not talking about that It is a good exercise to do. I'm not discrediting whatsoever, but I'm talking about really getting clear on how they're feeling and what they're thinking about their current situations and what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, right? What's the granular specific activities that are representing these thoughts and these feelings? An example could be, right, it isn't women who want to become more confident in their body. Like, obviously that's an inspiration for someone that could really resonate. But if you want to heighten your messaging, if you really want to call in a specific person, you could say it's for women who want to get ready for date night and not feel uncomfortable or deflated when trying on their brand new dress. That paints that vision. I'm sure as a listener, potentially we've been there before, and that actually brings up them feelings of being there before, right? Or maybe it's women who want to be fully present during sex and not worry about their squishy bits, right? That's completely different messaging. And it shows what that confidence is in their body. It gives them examples. It gets them to, like I say, paint that vision in their heads and really think about, if that they've experienced that recently and if that is something they want to get over. So they feel seen. And these are the type of activities and messaging that you can create where you maybe host a masterclass and someone's typing in the comment chat like, wow, I feel so seen right now. And they're the type of responses that you get, right? So when you look at your ideal client, think about what they're feeling, think about what they're thinking, and get so granular with it. What does this look like on a day-to-day basis for them? And number 3, this is going to be super simple. Just be yourself, okay? Don't try emulate someone else, even though they might really inspire you and have like bold, impressive messaging. Don't try emulate someone else. Just completely be yourself, be authentic, because that's the only way you can keep consistent, right? Even me just now, notice how I just said squishy bits in a part of copy, and not some formal terminology. Use what you would say in real life and what your clients would say in real life, or your prospects or your leads or your buyers or your followers, what they would say, the verbiage they would use, so you can keep consistent and people will be drawn to you for your personality as well, right? Once you're authentic, people can connect with you on a different level and feel something when they read. And once you start feeling and buy into that emotional state, you can then apply the logistical state, and then that's when selling becomes very, very easy and you become very memorable. So it's about owning your voice, who you are, and connecting the dots to the people who will be impacted by your offers or products. Because once you become known, when your personality connects with people, you become light for your mission. So step 1, and you build trust because people feel seen by you. So that was step 2, right? So the know, like, trust factor is there in the messaging in them 3 steps. And when you compound all them things, you don't have a problem selling anything. It sells itself. It's really, really easy to do because your messaging is so elevated and so magnetic. So if this is something you want to explore, the Rebel Movement MoneyFesting event is coming on the 23rd of October, and the tickets for this one are actually free. So not only will I be diving deeper into how impactful messaging is and more action steps that you can take to implement it, Grania will also be covering safety and pricing, so you can sign the dreamy clients for the even dreamier prices you want to charge. And Tiara will also be showing us how to hold the wealth we create, which is super, super important, right? We can make all the money in the world, but if we can't hold on to it, or we can't invest it and diversify it, and we just end up releasing it as soon as it comes in, or even worse, before it comes in, we can stop. If we learn how to heal that, we can stop going through these feast and famine cycles. So all the info for this event on the 23rd of October will be dropped in the show notes below. So grab your free ticket now. I believe we have maybe 50 or so left. So please grab them as soon as you hear this. And I'm going to wrap this episode up. I like to keep them short and sweet as per usual. But if you like this episode, remember to hit subscribe so you can be notified when we drop more golden business nuggets each and every week. Thank you for listening.